for anyone who has been diagnosed with cancer or a loved one who's been diagnosed with cancer, you know how important it is to get a second opinion. Well, that's not my opinion about second opinions, but it's the opinion of our special guest who has very strong opinions about this, and we're going to find out what they are. Next to me, Dr. Glen with Medical Oncology and Hematology at Wake Forest Baptist Health. Good to see you.
Good to see you. Thank you for having me.
By way of Duke, Penn State, and Wake Forest. I don't know who you pull for in football, but
it's
kind of rough, isn't it?
It's an interesting Sunday.
If they play each other. Doc, why is it so important? Seriously, why is it so important to get a second opinion if you've been diagnosed with cancer?
Yeah, I think there are a couple of reasons why people typically will get a second opinion, and probably the most common is really just for affirmation that the path that their primary oncologist has chosen is the right one. Hearing it from somebody else in the field who can really look independently and say, yeah, what's been recommended seems like the most appropriate thing we know of for your particular situation. That peace of mind goes a long way. There's also an opportunity to see somebody who might be a specialist in their particular cancer. In the community in general, most oncologists see the whole spectrum of oncologic diseases. At larger cancer centers, where people often will come for a second opinion, you have the benefit of seeing subspecialists, people who really specialize in one form of cancer or one organ system that might be affected, for instance, breast cancer. So they're really up to date on the cutting edge things from around the country in a way that somebody who really does a little bit of everything can't be.
Well, now, you actually started this Cancer Second Opinion program. It's not just something you're talking about in theory, but you made it its own program. I mean, why did you do that?
Right. So we formalized it in 2018, and the reason was to really create an environment that was conducive to not only allowing patients to quickly come in for second opinions, but to making that experience really a special one. Especially at a big cancer center, it's a scary place. It's hard to park. There's lots of traffic. There's lots of buildings. There's people running to and fro. And it's just not always the most welcoming place for somebody who's scared and sort of
You're already
vulnerable.
Stressed out.
Right. And so we put together a program that really tried to overcome some of those things, to make the interactions between patients or their physicians and our center smoothless and seamless, to really facilitate with all sorts of travel accommodations and directions and the ability to kind of get through our system.
Do I need a referral?
You can actually self-refer, which is an important part of the program, or your physician, either your oncologist or your primary physician, can actually refer to the program.
I think you sent me an email a couple weeks ago, and it had a term called fast track in it, and it said it had something to do with how fast you can actually get an appointment. What's that all about?
Yeah, I haven't met a cancer patient yet who doesn't think appropriately that they need to be seen that day or the next day for their problem. It's a terrific diagnosis to have to deal with. Yet the system, of course, just doesn't work that well. We can't see everybody as quickly as they want to be seen. For this program, we've really set a pretty high bar of seeing patients quite quickly, certainly within a week, if at all possible. 10 days at the outset is what we're shooting for, so that we can actually get people in, let them be seen, let them get the information they need, and then start making decisions that might impact their treatment course. It's not perfect, but it's probably about as good as we can do in the current environment.
And to go along with the theme of the teamwork and people backstopping each other over there in the different disciplines, I think there's also one of the only hospitals that has a special cancer designation. Is that right?
Yeah, so Wake Forest is what's called a comprehensive cancer center. We've been comprehensive for upwards of 30 years now. So the National Cancer Institute really reviews and designates and oversees cancer centers through the country, and their highest designation is comprehensive. There are about 50 cancer centers that have that title, Comprehensive Cancer Center, around the country. And sort of by definition, that implies a couple things. It implies that they have a depth and breadth, both in the patient care and the kinds of patients they take care of, in the research, both in the laboratory and at the bedside, the clinical trials, and also in teaching and educating both our patients, their families, the future doctors and nurses and PAs that are going to take care of us as we age.
Well, I think it's a great program, and I want to put up on screen the website, and correct me if I get this wrong. It's wakehealth.edu/second opinion, and that's with a number 2 ND, second, not spell out second. And you'll see it up on screen, or call for an appointment. The general number, of course, 716-WAKE, is an 888 number, but I just applaud you for what you all are doing to have this program. It's something that's been missing in a lot of people's lives, and now it's making a difference. Thanks, Doc.
Well, thank you so much. We couldn't be happier with the success and the interest in the program, and we hope to grow it.